Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 481. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Mr. Paul Despawns on the ones and twos. Despawn, how are you?
Hello there. Woo, go me. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's Sunday as of recording. I am awake. I have not played any games. Yeah, that's all you're getting. That's all you need from me.
You've definitely played games. We've played games together.
We have
played games together, so you've definitely played games. And of course, the one and only, don't know if we'll do that again. And of course, the one and only Mr. Toothfresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
Woo! I'm up, awoken, energized.
When did we become a Woo Girl podcast? When did that happen? Woo!
It's a new thing. We need to expand our demographic. I think Woo girls are like a very marketable demographic.
That's what they definitely listen to Xbox podcasts with three nerdy guys with neck beards. Yeah, they definitely.
Well, they listen to the opening for a Woo. If there's no Woo, they move on to the next podcast.
That's how we get our retention time up.
So what he's saying is basically no more hello there. It's now a Woo.
Woo! Welcome to My Xbox and Me.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
I think Ric Flair will come out of somewhere and be like, hey, I own that Woo. How dare you, sir? But if you don't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/MyXboxandMe and all podcast services. Remember, support the show financially, patreon.com/MCFix. A quick shout out to a few people. There have been a couple of new Patreon supporters, and we very much do appreciate it. A few people have even upped their tiers. I appreciate it a lot. Trust me. Obviously, we do need the support financially to keep this going. So yeah, if you are able to, patreon.com/MCFixer, or go and drop a sub over on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MCFixer, or a membership over on YouTube. Wherever you want to support the spaces are there. You're welcome to support wherever you want. We don't have a preference. Just supporting helps a lot more than you can imagine.
Yeah. Not to be selfish, but I would say twitch.tv/MyXboxandMe of MC Fixer, just because I want all his money.
Did I say MC Fixer?
You did. It happens to be
My Xbox and Me. I meant My Xbox and Me.
So pop behind the curtain, like every time I write out a tweet on the My Xbox and Me channel, Twitter, it's like, all right, come and watch us live on twitch.tv/Paul D. Let me delete that.
To be fair, I do that every time with Ubisoft. And when I do a Ubi stream, I put MC Fixer, and I'm like, oh no, this is not my channel. Not my channel. No. Yeah, I do that all the time. What else was there? Podcast reviews. If you haven't reviewed the podcast, please do consider doing so. It helps more than you would imagine. Weirdly, especially on Apple Podcasts, you rank higher the more reviews that you get, which don't ask me why, but it is a thing. We have no new ones over in the UK, unfortunately. Not had a new one since August 2nd. I'm just saying. We must have some new listeners who haven't done it by now. Come on. Even Android users can use the Apple Podcast app now and drop reviews. So go and do it if you haven't so far. Topic of the show this week, boys. Some crazy news coming out of... actually, before we do that, let's go back 2 seconds. Let's have a big thank you for Halo with the Boys, shall we? This seems like a good time to do it before we get too deep in. Halo with the Boys happened on Thursday? He says confused. Yeah, it was Thursday. Yep. On Thursday, it was a great success, I would say, in some aspects, and a humongous failure in others. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. My Xbox and Me YouTube channel or the Twitch channel has the VODs up. It was a bag of fun. We all came together. We played Halo. The community got involved. And Crash, how did the community do?
The community did amazing. What? Specifically, one community member did amazing. Phil, shout out, Phil. He destroyed us.
Carried hard. Yeah. That man's got a big backpack.
Definitely. Yeah, we suck at Halo.
No.
Yep. Who would have
No. We don't suck. He's just very good.
I don't think he is that good, though, if I'm honest. I hate to say it. I think he's that much better than us.
Yeah,
I don't think he was that good.
True.
You know?
Yeah, maybe we just...
I don't know.
For people who didn't watch, we didn't win. The My Xbox and Me team, being me, Crash, Matt, Despawn, didn't win a single game against the community. Not a single game. We lost 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah.
It hurt my ego. I'm not gonna lie. in some ways, I was hurt. In other ways, it felt good. Like everyone I spoke to said they had a really good time, which was nice. Obviously, the community jumped in the Discord. They were chatting to each other. Obviously, we were doing the live stream. They were watching our reactions. Like overall, as a product we were trying to create, I think it was the best outcome. But for me as a gamer, it was very, very, very humbling. Very, very humbling.
I mean, for me as a gamer, I'm kind of used to it, so it's fine.
Yeah,
well. I'm used to getting owned in FPSs, so it's not a problem. But yeah, no, for me, I think it's just like it was a lot of fun. Especially when we weren't doing the deathmatch games as well, like when we did the
Duck Hunt and that.
Yeah, the Duck Hunt stuff. Yeah. That was a ton of fun. Like I'd love to do more stuff like that in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I guess the big thing is if the community wants to see more things like that, let us know.
There's been conversations in the Discord. Obviously, I've seen a few conversations going on. The problem is we've done this before, where we have a successful moment, then we say we want to do it more frequently, and then it usually falls flat on its face.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I am open to. I said this in the Discord. I'm open to doing one a month. I don't think that's a crazy extension. I feel like if you promoted it at the start of the month, promoted it all the way through the month on the podcast and all the other channels which we do things, and then did it at the end of each month, there's a potential to do something there. But yeah, well, we'll wait and see. Any suggestions for games that people are interested in would be cool. I'm very interested in maybe doing like a Jackbox night as our next one, just to sort of like, okay, we've done a shooter, that's that. Again, I feel like when you give it a nice little 3-hour time frame as well, it's not like it's a 8-hour live stream when you're expecting people to show up. It's like, it's at this time, we're playing this game, come hang out. People can go jump in the Discord and react to each other in there. We can still do the live stream from where we're at. Everybody's having fun. So yeah, man, potential for things to happen. But when we announce something, we'll let everybody know. It'll probably be at the start of next month before we'll know what we're doing. So
yeah,
I'll talk to the boys and we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But topic of the show this week, boys. Palworld, a game that we've all heard of. It came out. It had a humongous launch. And we all suspected that Nintendo wouldn't be too happy about it eventually, and now they are not. Nintendo is officially suing the Palworld developers Pocket Pair for what is the word?
Patent.
Thank you. What words? Again, I will say, I was out drinking last night. It was my sister's 18th, so bear with us. Hence, we're recording on Sunday. Patent infringement to protect the intellectual properties it has worked hard to establish over the years. This lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the ground that Palworld, a game developed and released by a defendant, infringes multiple patents rights. Nintendo will continue to take necessary actions against any infringements of its intellectual property rights, including the Nintendo brand itself, to protect its intellectual properties it has worked hard to establish over the years. End quote. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, ultimately, I kind of expected this before it came out, if we're being totally honest with you. Palworld, fantastic game, by the way, and I think that's also part of the problem with this. Like, if this was just any other game that didn't come out, sell millions, go on Game Pass, have a moment, I could have seen it going under the surface a little bit more. But unfortunately for Palworld, it was unfortunately, it was a huge success. And now Nintendo are like, hey, that Pokeball looks a lot like a Pokeball.
Yeah.
those pals look a lot like Pokemon. So, yeah. So, where'd you come down on this? Go on, please, go on, Crash.
So none of the design aspects are what's being infringed on. It's specifically like game mechanics. So it's not how the pals look. It's not the remotely similar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so people are guessing, because I don't think there's any like concrete. We don't know what exactly they're suing for right now, but people are guessing it's the capture mechanic, because after Palworld was announced, from my understanding, Nintendo put out, and this is the original announcement, Nintendo like made a few patents for Pokemon specifically, and people are assuming it's like capturing Pokemon, the Pokeball in general. So you were right about the Pokeball, but not the design of it. Just the fact that you throw Pokeballs to catch things is sort of what people are assuming is the patent.
Yeah.
So throwing a ball at a animal-like creature and then them becoming captured inside a ball is what they've had. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, that's Pokemon, right?
They were the first, I mean, so I've had a look at the patents. Like some of the images are hilarious. Go check them out if you haven't done so already. They're very much like the patents that don't show them catching Pokemon in the images. It's very much them throwing them at dinosaurs. So it's funny. But so from what I understand, the patent kind of goes a little bit further. It's not so much just the capturing. It's the also using those balls to then fight and battle as well. But it is very specifically around the ball aspects of it. So the Pokeballs versus Pal Spheres, they have like no two ways about it. They are incredibly similar.
Speaking on that, we've got a statement that came out from Palworld talking about the fact they've been sued. So let's read that real quickly. Quote, yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company for patent infringement. We have received notice of this lawsuit and will begin the appropriate legal proceedings and investigations into the claims of patent infringement. At this moment, we are unaware of specific patent we are accused of infringing upon, and we have not been notified of such details. So like we said, it's all speculation. They're even saying that themselves in terms of they don't know what they're being sued for. Pocket Pair is a small, I love this. Pocket Pair is a small indie game company based in Tokyo. Our goal as a company has always been to create fun games and will continue to pursue this goal because we know that our games bring joy to millions of gamers around the world. Palworld was a surprise success this year, both for gamers and for us. We were blown away by the amazing response to the game and have been working hard to make it even better for our fans. We will continue to improve Palworld and strive to create a game that our fans can be proud of. It is unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to the matter unrelated to the game development due to the lawsuit. However, we will do our utmost for our fans and to ensure that indie game developers are not hindered or discouraged from pursuing their creative ideas. We apologize to our fans and supporters for any worry or discomfort that this news has caused. As always, thank you for your continued support and Palworld and Pocket Pair. End quote. I mean, I kind of like the quote they put out, to be honest with you. Very much like, we're a small dev. We just want to make fun games. We wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Like, come on, guys. Like, I love it. That's the total angle I would take as well. But like, come on, we all played the game because we saw a Pokemon game that wasn't Pokemon and went, oh, that actually looks really cool. And ultimately, it is really cool. Probably better than some of the most Pokemon games that have come out lately, if we're being honest. Chris, where do you come down on this? Like, do you think it's nefarious enough that Nintendo should be, because again, the Nintendo should be doing this because again, it is their IP, it is what they're known for, it is Pokemon with a different spin on it. What do you think?
I think it's bullying, if I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think what it comes down to is like, everybody looks at Shadow of Mordor and they look at the patent in that case and they're like, it sucks that has a patent and the way patents get abused in that regard. And I think this is just Nintendo sort of abusing that system with their own game. I think after you play Palworld, like, I don't think it's a one-to-one of Pokemon. Yes, there's Pokemon similarities, but that game's a lot more like Arc or something like along those lines than it is Pokemon when you really get to the nitty-gritty of that game. Right. So this does feel a little unfair. It does feel a little bit like bullying, but ultimately, like, it's Nintendo's right to do this with the way things work, unfortunately.
My question for you then is, again, and it's been a very long time since I played this game, but isn't Temtem now going to be under some sort of looking as well? Why have they gone?
You don't use Pokeballs. They use cards.
There we go. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the system was.
So I think. Yeah, so they use cards. Most games that come out and do something like this, like there's the cassette beasts or whatever, they use cassette tapes to catch things. So they usually use something other than Pokeball. So I think like Nintendo, when they filed their patent, was very specific because you have to be. Because if you try and say, oh, you can't catch creatures and use them to battle, it's like, oh, but look at all these other games that let you do that. So I think it was a very strategic move from them doing that.
Interesting. Yeah, I do feel... It's a good game. I think that's the part that I struggle with the most, right? Where it's like, it is a good game. So what would, if you were a Pocket Pair right now, both of you, what do you do? Do you go in and change the balls to get around to circumvent this lawsuit? Do you fight it in court and be like, hey, you can't own balls? Like, you know, every man has a pair. Not every, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
I don't think getting rid of the spheres at this point circumvents the lawsuit, because the lawsuit is for damages done. So it's like, oh, look, people are down on Pokemon or whatever. They make an argument or something, whatever. It's because they already infringed on our patent. Yeah. The damage is done now already, even if you change that system. Like, you got your player base because of the spheres or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I think Crush is right. I think if they change it, which I think they probably will, maybe, I think they'll be like ongoing, they'll be fine. But yeah, the damage is done. But going back to your earlier question, I just wanted to point out that it's like, I think this has happened in the past. I can't think of any specifics, but I know it has happened in the past where companies kind of have to go after their own patents. So they have to sue. Otherwise, it basically be like, it becomes a useless patent because it's like, well, you didn't sue us when we did that. So there's precedent that it's not an issue.
Yeah,
kind of
got
thing.
you. Yeah. Makes sense.
I think the only problem is like the patents didn't come into existence until after Palworld was announced. Is like my only reasoning. Like, I don't like that. That makes 100% logical sense. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time when people protect IPs and stuff like that. To me, it doesn't come across as that for Pokemon. For me, it comes across as Nintendo just bullying somebody.
Yeah, I think the question is like, we'd have to go back and watch all of the pre-release stuff. Is like, did they ever show the Palspheres in that gameplay trailers? Yes. Did they specifically show it? Okay,
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. So if they've shown it prior to the patent being placed, then yeah, they're 100%. I think like Nintendo are likely to lose because
I don't know. Let's not throw around numbers like 100%. Let's go 99.9%.
Okay, yeah, 99.875. I think there is a precedent to say, well, like too much math. Yeah, you have submitted this patent in bad faith because you knew somebody else was bringing something to market with that.
I think the problem is also like it's Japanese. It's a Japanese lawsuit. So who knows how Japanese law works around patents as well. I don't know how Japanese law works in general, let alone for
I don't know how English patent law works. So.
Exactly. My thing is, do you think there's a hint of jealousy here from Nintendo in terms of like, Pokemon is still Pokemon. Like, Pokemon's going to sell gangbusters every year. We know that, whatever. It has a very specific audience that will keep buying those games no matter what at the standard they are. But there definitely has been a growing concern, I would say, within the Pokemon. I can't talk about Pokemon as an IP. I'm talking about the game specifically amongst people that like me, right? I had this conversation with JoJo the other day. She was like, "You're not even a Pokemon fan." I'm like, "I am a Pokemon fan. I love Pokemon, but they haven't put out a good Pokemon game for me in a really long time." Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hardcore Pokemon fan, but I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore fan of anything other than maybe Resident Evil like that, right? Like, for me, I saw Palworld and I went, holy crap, if this was actually Pokemon, this would be the biggest game ever. Like, this would be bigger than Palworld, right? And do you think there is an ounce of jealousy there in terms of like, wow, they did this before we could, and to a standard? You got to remember when that game came out, it was still to a very high standard. It worked, you know, especially when we played it at launch. Remember, like, they had dedicated servers on PC. All the things we've asked for from Pokemon for a really long time. Playing with our friends, capturing, free roam, dungeons, all of those sorts of things. Take away the gun side of things like that. That's irrelevant, right? Like, do you think there's an element of like, we need to take this down, but because we've not adapted nearly quickly enough yet as well? Or do you think it is just a case of, like you said before, we have a pattern, we need to set precedent of like, we're not going to allow other companies to do this as well, as otherwise it could just become a real big problem for us?
I don't think, like, again, when you're talking like companies as big as Nintendo and the Pokemon company, I don't think jealousy is the word I'd use. But
probably a poor choice of word.
Yeah, I definitely think, as Crash said earlier, I think it is that, like, why the patent is and the lawsuit has been brought into effect is partly it is the negative damage to the Pokemon brand in so much of, like, people are doing it better now. Like, why would I buy a Pokemon product when I can buy a cheaper product in some instances? Like, how much is Palworld? Like £20-30?
Yeah, but when we come out, I think like £30, weren't it?
Yeah, and it's like, I'll pay £30 for a better version of a Pokemon open world game, or do I buy the semi-annual lackluster Pokemon release? It's like, it does that damage. So I think it is very much a case of maybe they're like trying to protect against. I don't think the specific lawsuits for that. I think it is 90% probably along the lines of, we've got to protect our patents, so let's do it now that we've seen it and it does infringe. So yeah, I don't know if it is a jealousy thing. I think it is very much a business side of like, we've got to protect our patents.
Fair enough. Well, I hope that this is all settled out of court and everyone gets to carry on moving forward in a professional manner, and everyone keeps making great games. That's the best outcome I want personally. But I don't think this is going to be the case. I think this is going to be very much drawn out for many years to come, and then Palworld will no longer be relevant, and we'll find out that they had to spend ridiculous amounts of money on this.
That's fine. They've got ridiculous amounts of money. My question to you guys, if, like we mentioned earlier, if they do have to remove the Palsphere element, what would you want them to replace it with?
Well, I don't think they're going to... Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. A diamond cube. It's only going to be the fact that it's a sphere, right?
Yeah. I'd assume it would be just that it's a sphere. If I was them, I'd do something super cheeky that doesn't break the patent, but it's still an asshole move to Nintendo.
Do you remember? I don't know if you had them in the US, Crash, but in the UK, we used to have these plastic things that you stuck together when you was in like elementary school reception for us. Do you know what I'm talking about? This one, right? Like the cube things.
Yeah.
And you used to make like a giant sort of football-y shaped thing, which is technically, I haven't learned shapes in a really long time, but some sort of cubish shape that's not spherical. And when I think of spherical, I think of Drake and Josh. It's some sphere. Sorry, that's in my head. I would just do something like that. Like in terms of like you said, I would be so close to the line of like, hey, we're now not breaking the pattern, but we're not going to change our entire game. We're just going to change this one specific element to fit in with the pattern. But yeah, I guess from their behalf, it was kind of silly making it a circle, right? Like if we sit down and think about it now, but I guess that's the difference between we're making a passion project, we're coming off of We Love Pokemon. Like you do end up looking at things that you love, right? When you're making it, that's why I become a content creator. I love kind of funny. Boom, you start making content similar to that. Same thing in game dev. So, but yeah, I'm surprised no one went, let's make a triangle cube instead, or let's make a whatever, a star. You throw a star at the like would it have made that much difference? Would the game have not sold well if you threw a ninja throwing star at the Pokemon and then it entered the star? Would that make that much of a difference? I don't know.
I was gonna say, I just had this image of you running around in the Palworld just throwing shurikens at people. I was like, okay.
Take that. It's already guns, why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Would the game not have sold as well if it wasn't a Pokeball? If we didn't see a Pokeball? I don't know. I generally don't know.
Well, like I say, like as I asked earlier, it's like, did they show Pokeballs or Palspheres earlier in the things? It's like,
I think they did, because I'm pretty sure that was like a whole moment for everyone where they were like, oh, it's Pokemon. So,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, my memory is not, you throw Pokeballs to catch these pals, or Palspheres to throw these pals. It's very much a case of like, it's pals with guns. It's like, that was the selling point for me. It wasn't how you catch them, it's how you play with them. It's like, so no matter what they did, like, I think I would have still loved that game. Like, I don't think the shape of the capture device is what sold me on that game, is what I'm saying.
I wonder if it did though, for some people as well.
I think subconscious is like, it's just Pokemon with guns. It's
literally. I wonder if that was, and would that have made a difference? Why did they not just do like an energy beam? Like,
I didn't think of it.
No, but you know what? Now I'm sitting here going, okay, these are all the things they could have done, which, yeah, very interesting, but we'll move along anyway. Let's jump into what's been in our box this week, boys. I tell you what, I'm going to start with me. I'm not going to push it to you guys because I've been playing a little game. You may have heard of it. It's called Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Woo! No boo. No.
Oh, we're wooing or booing? Wait.
No, we're
Woo! Sorry.
What you want me to woo?
I want your best Ric Flair impression.
Oh, now we're not woo girls. Okay. All right, fine. Now we're not. First of all, shout out Capcom. They sent me a copy of the game early. Appreciate them. Thank you. Dead Rising's back, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect from Dead Rising. It is the original Dead Rising game with a ton of graphical updates and a few quality of life fixes. I forgot how much I love Dead Rising. I forgot how much I love that series. I forgot how much I love that world. I forgot how bad some of the AI is, and those issues are still there. They have done some, obviously, a lot of changes. It's way better than it was back on the 360. But, there's still a few issues here and there. I really like the game. I mean, my biggest issue with the game is the fact that it's not a full-on remake. I think while playing it, I was like, it was nice to have that nostalgia hit and going back and playing that game again. I beat it in two or three settings. I beat it. And again, that game has a ton of replayability and stuff like that. So much stuff I've not even touched, but to say I have beat it. Everything you expect to be there is there. I saw a TikTok the other day of them doing a side-by-side comparison. And it's one of those moments of like, after I saw the old game, I was like, holy crap, it was that old. And like, you forget how big that game was when it came out, like how many zombies were on screen back then, and the 360 as a launch title and all that stuff. Now you play it again, you're like, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's how I remember it, but it isn't. That isn't how you remember it when you actually see it side by side. But yeah, really love the game. My biggest letdown for the game is the pure fact that I wish it was a full-on remake. So I was getting that brand new feel and like the Resident Evil 2, right? Like I always want that from these type of games, but I hope Capcom are using this as do we do more Dead Rising? And I hope that it sells well. Again, I haven't reviewed it yet. Maybe we'll do a review because that could be pretty cool. But yeah, probably would be for me. I'd probably be lower than some people. I've seen it get 9s and a few 9s, 8 9s. I'd probably be about a 7 or 8 for me. But yeah, really, really, really enjoying the game, and can't wait to play more and go back for my second playthrough and stuff. Frank, the costumes in that game, oh my god. I didn't think me, but I'm not really into like skins and costumes. I never have been, to be honest with you. This game, maybe it's because they are always, a lot of them are Resident Evil based. Like playing through this game fully as a licker, and then like people being scared of you. I don't know if you saw my clip that I put on socials. I'm dressed as Nemesis, and there's this guy who starts crawling away from you because he's scared of Frank, but I'm dressed as Nemesis, so he's like, get away from me, you could be a zombie. And then it's me dressed as Nemesis, like, and yeah, it just makes for some like really, really funny moments. The liquor skin in this, the tongue, it's just ragdolling the whole time during cutscenes. So like, you'll have a moment where like you've just saved someone or a boss fight or something, right? And then you've just got the liquor tongue just like licking them the whole time. Like you're just like, damn, this is crazy. But yeah, there's so many good skins in the game that really add to the playthrough for me. So, which is a really good example of like what to do in a remake like this, right? Like it's exactly the same content you've come to expect, but you get to play it and see it from a total different light just by being Leon and Chris and the liquor and Nemesis and Ken. There's a Ken skin as well. There's a Mega Man skin.
I did see the clip of just Ken walking around with a gun. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, this is crazy. It's absolutely mental. So
I guess my question to you is, obviously, apart from the graphical updates and everything, what are the quality of life things like, and like how much do they improve the game?
So it's hard to say, like, right? Because I don't remember. Now it's been so long since I played Dead Rising 1. Like, again, I really should have played the original before I played this to really have seen the big quality of life fixes. As far as I can tell, AI is a lot better than it ever was, which, you know, to be expected. I like a few things. There's a few moments where, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a moment where you have to dodge a car and they like put a slow motion like thing in there. Like, it plays like a game. Don't get me wrong, it still plays like a 360 game because that's what it was. Like, shooting's still not great, and there's a few issues here and there, but it does overall feel a lot better. Movement feels a lot cleaner. Frame rate obviously is fantastic because of how many zombies are on screen, which we weren't getting back in the 360 day. Overall, it just feels like a much more polished and better game, to be honest with you, which is nice. So yeah, man, honestly, if you haven't played it and you're considering playing it, go check it out. I really, really enjoyed it. Again, it depends. If you're someone who's a Dead Rising fan, I saw a lot of people, I was streaming it, saw a lot of people coming back, oh yeah, but I still hate that time mechanic. I'm like, yeah, but that's the whole point of the game. Like, I hate, like, people are very much like, oh yeah, but the whole point is it has replayability. Then you know where to go to get this person. You know what they're after. You know this. You know that. You know where to go find the different magazines. You know how to mix different drinks. Like, you learn all that through your first playthrough. So for the second playthrough, you then are able to then, you know,
streamline your play.
Figure it out instantly, streamline. That's the whole point. It's a mid-maxing game. Like, you learn this, you go do it, bam. So yeah, man, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be planning more. Definitely, I'll be very surprised if it doesn't make my top 10 this year, if I'm being totally honest. And then after that, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, so is this a game we need to play for our Game of the Year list then?
It's not Game of the Year.
No, okay.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like it is. For me, it's not Game of the Year. It's not better than Prince of Persia that came out this year. I'd have to sit down and really think. I don't think I'd even put it above Star Wars. So, you know, but again, it's hard, right? Because old game's old, unless it's new, like this. It's a weird one, right? Like, so it's an old game that it's got a new coat of paint on it ultimately, and a lot of quality of life fixes. I don't think so. If you're a Dead Rising fan, you should play it. If you enjoy Dead Rising games, you should support it. If you want to see more Dead Rising games, and then I don't think I could sit here and say, like, you need to play this to make sure that it is in your list. It will be in my personal list. I don't know if I would fight for it in our top 10 list. I'm not sure yet, but time will tell, I guess. Right? We still got. Weirdly, still a lot of games. We're very close to the end of the year already, but still a lot of games coming out. I've got this weird thing. I've got that code to come through. I got Frostpunk came through. I got Space Marines 2 that came through. I got obviously Hogwarts that I've spoken about a little bit already. Core Keeper came through with a code. Like, I just had so much stuff that came through all at once. I'm like, all right, time to get to work. So thankfully beat that to transition into what I was just saying, Star Wars. I beat Star Wars now as well. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I think I expected to enjoy it. All the issues that we've already spoken about, they're there. But I really did enjoy my playthrough. After ending, I was like, yeah, that was exactly kind of what I was expecting from that experience. And I had a really good time playing it. I'm probably at a 7 if I had to score it. That's probably where I would go with it, a 7. But I guess, and you got to remember, that's coming from someone who isn't a hardcore Star Wars fan, doesn't understand these worlds, and the first time you're getting to explore them and things like that, right? That's just someone who is a Star Wars game fan, I guess, you know, because that's usually how I get my Star Wars feel. But yeah, really enjoyed the relationship between Kay and Nix. I enjoyed how the story came together in the end, even though pretty predictable, but still enjoyable. So yeah, beat that as well. And now I move on to 101 other games, Crash. But what have you been playing, Crash? Anything?
So I played More Like a Dragon. I'm on chapter 9, I think. I want to say.
Okay, 12 chapters. Yeah. So you're there. You're getting there.
Oh, 12 chapters. Okay, I thought it was 14.
Let me check. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, so I played that. I'm really enjoying that. I got to the I don't want to really spoil it, but I got to the switch
14.
up.
No, you are right. 14.
Yeah, so I got to the switch up which I was kind of expecting. I thought it was cool. Yeah, I'm still enjoying that. I want to beat it before the month ends because next month we have the other Atlas game coming out, and then also Dragon Age Veilguard comes out. So I definitely want to have it beaten before both those
Dragon
games.
Age is this year?
Yep.
October 31st.
Yeah, October, there you go. Yeah.
I totally thought Dragon Age was next year.
Nope. All the previews are dropping because it's coming out soon.
I did see a bunch of previews, and I was like, seems a bit early to be doing all this, but how you do you, EA? Oh, okay. That's awkward. Even more games to come out.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Crash, about Like a Dragon. Because again, you're not someone you didn't play the previous game to completion like I didn't. Where we are not Yakuza fans ultimately, right? Are the nostalgia moments still hitting for you? Because I think this game does a really good job of like giving you enough context for certain moments, but as a new player, but if you're an actual Yakuza fan, you're probably getting a lot more out of it. So are they hitting for you or not?
Yes, they do. They do hit. Okay. The way they do it is very, very well done. Where it feels like this could be its own standalone thing, and it wasn't part of the bigger Yakuza universe. Where it feels like they're just building backstory for the character, and they're showing it to you in this quick flashback cutscene or something like that. Where it's like, oh no, that's just a cutscene, literally from an old game.
From a different game,
Yeah. They do it really, really well. Where they're not dumping information and exposition on you. No. They are making a natural part of the story, which is really, really well. And that part I think is probably the most impressive narrative part, where there isn't a character you meet where you feel out of place. Like, I didn't know who they were. They introduce them seamlessly. They'll give you a brief introduction to them in some cases. From any character I've met.
I was about to say, you still got characters come in, I think. And there's one that didn't hit for me. But again, I don't know spoilers and things like that. But there's one that didn't hit for me, but I'll be interested to have the conversation with you once you beat it 100%.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so far, really, really loving that. I spent a couple of hours playing xCloud.
Oh.
Just jumping into different games. Look, we talk about cloud gaming here, and I'm always nagging on it. I'm a Debbie Downer on cloud gaming, right? So I was like, I should probably sit down at some point and give it like the good old college try, if you will. Yeah. I played Halo Infinite on that, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. Yeah. I played a couple matches of Halo Infinite. I played what's the death game that came to Game Pass recently? That's like a Metroidvania side scroller.
I know what you mean. Have a nice death?
Have a Nice Death. I played Wargroove 2, and then I played a fourth game that I don't recall. I jumped around between them. Wargroove and Have a Nice Death played very nice. Halo Infinite did I'm playing it on my phone. It's not super, super great. And then B, it looked very pixelated compared to the other games. And it didn't. I had a couple of lag spikes, which it is multiplayer and stuff like that as well. So
I have questions. So this was at home, on the couch, on your phone?
On the couch, on my phone. I have my brother got what's it called? A Turtle Beach Atom, which I tried, which is it's like a controller set where you attach it to the phone that connects to Bluetooth.
Or whatever.
So I played like that. Yeah. It connected super well. It played super well. There was some lag spikes. I did load into the games relatively fast. I will say I was a little disappointed at first because I launched the Xbox app originally, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was there, and I was like, oh, I can launch it from that. And I launched it, and I went and I was like, download it onto your Xbox. I'm like, wrong app, the wrong thing. And I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, I could see myself using something like that while I'm sitting on a couch watching TV to go through the dungeon or something like that, where I don't need to pay a whole lot of attention.
Literally, that's literally my Steam Deck was my, I want to play Yakuza Like a Dragon right now, but I don't want to do big story beats. So I'm going to run around and do memories or dungeons or the Pokemon mode in that. What's it called? Crap. Sujimon. Bro, yeah. Oh, man. I could sit here and talk about that game with you all day. Generally, so
there's a lot of stuff to talk about. The Pokemon stuff, you could have a whole conversation on stuff.
Yeah. But overall, what's the overall outcome of it now after spending more time with it.
I still don't see cloud gaming as like the future. I see it as like an additive 100%. I just don't like, I think you're more likely to get handheld gaming to go into be more of a future than cloud gaming for me. Because I just think as of right now, it's still a little bit too unreliable, because I was hitting lag spikes when I was playing something like Halo Infinite. And I'm playing at home next to the Wi-Fi connection. I'm not playing like out and about, which is where you'd assume cloud gaming would get a lot more play as well.
And you have good internet as well. It's not like you have bad internet either. So
yeah. I've always found that like anytime I've played like on my phone, it's always been like 2D games are great for it.
Fantastic.
But yeah, once you start going into the 3D realm, it's like Sea of Thieves was very choppy. Halo Infinite as well, just playing like a little bit of the campaign and just trying that out is like similar thing. But I don't know. Have you tried it on your PC yet?
I've not tried cloud gaming on my PC.
I find that's obviously because it's it's your PC and it's, I don't know if yours is directly tethered or if you're using Wi-Fi, but like I found that's the best version of cloud gaming for me next to my console. So again, because I've mentioned that in the past that I use cloud gaming on my One X downstairs because it's really the only way to play like current gen games on it without obviously moving the Series X downstairs. And I found that is pretty seamless. Like sometimes it'll dip to like a 720 like play, but other than that, it feels pretty seamless. And then again, when I play it through the desktop browser, it's a similar kind of feeling to that as well. Whereas like 9 times out of 10, it feels pretty seamless, and then it'll just start you get those little pixelated lines that just kind of go down as it's buffering a little bit, but otherwise. Yeah. It feels just as good. But yeah, I feel like handheld mobile is definitely like one of the worst ways to play it. But
I certainly hope not, because look what I bought, boys.
Uh-oh.
I was out and about, and I went in the store to buy FIFA, EAFC, thinking the Ultimate Edition had a physical copy, because I'm like, I'm not buying this digitally. I'm going to sell this back once I'm done with it. Ended up couldn't do it, so I was like, hey, if you guys got a PlayStation Portal in stock? And they were like, yeah, we have one. So look what I bought, everybody. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me about my Xbox and me anymore. Where's my PlayStation and me? I'm ready to go, baby. Crash, you proud of me? Look. Look, Crash.
You should have waited for the anniversary version.
We had this conversation. Look, this is going to sound the most out of touch I think I've ever sounded in my fucking life. I'm not going to lie. Some people invest in crypto. Some people invest in stocks. Me, I'm going to buy the 30th anniversary, all the PlayStation stuff, and not touch any of it. And just I'm going to put it in like they get the plastic boxes, like antiques have. I think I'm going to buy it. I'm going to try and buy all of it and just put it in my
away.
Yeah. That's I'm not scalping it or anything like that, but I just, yeah. So that's the plan anyway.
That's your retirement fund.
I think it's a good investment. Like I said to Despawn before the podcast, I had the opportunity. I remember, if you remember rightly, for the 20th anniversary, I met Shuei Yoshida, and I remember at EGX, everyone was bringing their PlayStations with them and their PlayStation 20th anniversary, and I'm like, bro, and back then, you got me, I had no money back then. I was piss fucking poor. I remember being like, why is everyone going crazy for this thing? Like, it's nice, but it's not like that crazy. And now I like regret not like taking a loan out to buy them. And now I'm like, I think it's the 27th pre-orders go live, right? I'm there like, okay, here we go, boys. I want the whole. Why are you making faces? Is it not 27th?
I think it's the 26th.
Okay, I'll check that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, double check. No, do it on the 27th. Yeah.
Hey, fuck you. So I'm ready. But yeah, I bought a Portal because I was like, I've noticed I've stopped beating PlayStation games. So I'm like, hey, let me just buy this Portal and see what it's like. So
I think Portal works fine.
Oh, I'll find out. I'll be the judge of that, Crash. Yeah. Have you got one?
Interested to see what you say. My brother has one, so I've tried it a bit.
Your brother's so fucking cool. Can we get him on the podcast from now on?
Yeah, ask my brother how often he plays games.
Oh yeah, but he buys everything. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have the best things to play FIFA, right, or whatever.
He's out here just playing fucking Palworld. He's like,
not for long. Not for long.
Not for long. No. Anything else people been playing, or is that?
I played Space Marines 2.
Oh,
yes. I got it. Ben got it, and another friend. So
gotcha.
Wait, you got other friends than us?
He does. Yeah, upsets me every time.
Fix used to actively try and get me to stop hanging out with friends.
I used to actively be in that friendship group with me, him, and Ben, and then Ben became too cool for school. And now, don't forget, Ben's been on this podcast before. Just saying, Ben has been on this show. Ben has been on this show. Way better than Crash. Way better. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
How is it? How is it?
It's really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
It is. The combat's fun. It is very much so like it gives you the old like 360 vibes in a modern setting in the way like levels. The game has multiplayer. I didn't know it would have multiplayer, and it's just sort of like an additive. It's not the main attraction. They're not trying to sell you skins and a million other things. It's just like, so sort of here's a multiplayer PvP mode if you want to play it. There's a co-op mode that's more wave based. I don't know exactly how that works. It feels like it's a pre-packaged game with a lot of features that isn't trying to nickel and dime you in a lot of ways, which is dope. I think this also is the most I've been interested in a Warhammer universe. And I played the co-op game they had, Dark Tides, last year, and I wasn't super crazy about that. I think this does a better job. I think the story they've set up from what I've played so far is interesting. The combat is fun. Every melee weapon has different executions and parry animations and stuff like that. So it's very cool. Very dope from what I've played so far.
I hear the campaign's not very long. I heard it's only about 5 hours long, the campaign.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like 9 chapters. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's not super lengthy, which I think is good. I don't need.
I think me and you should just sit down. And like one evening,
10 hours.
You're live on my Xbox and me channel. I'm live on my channel. We just fucking go for it.
Yeah, it's 3-player co-op.
Yeah, but Chris, we'll see if he shows up. He's invited, but we'll see if he shows up.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm excited because I was there.
Did you see to go off again? Did you see that Twitch are doing this whole the knock system they got now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're doing the whole mixed chat thing as well.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm saying like we can potentially
play around with that.
Potentially works there. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. Anything else? Anything else anyone's been playing?
So I played an indie game. So I played a game called Caravan Sandwich. Which is an interesting name. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like an open world kind of like exploration game. Like there's no combat really. It's very much like 3D platforming, solving like puzzles in like environments and stuff. But it's an interesting title. So it's like I love the art style already. But basically, you are a girl who goes back down to a planet that was like devastated by a kind of natural or maybe not natural disaster, and it's your mission to like go like forage for parts to build like things for your caravan to help you like unlock other areas and things like that, and like kind of discover what happened in the world and try and like do missions for people. It's pretty damn cool. Like I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I spent like an entire day just like playing it. But yeah, like I'm really enjoying the exploration of it. Like the character design's really cool. Like speaking, like you basically have to like build up relationships with different people around the world, and kind of like do little jobs for them, and then they'll give you like items and things like that. And then, like, there's an underlying interesting story that's going on in the background of all that. That's really cool. And yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, zero combat in it. It is 100% like just exploration only, but yeah, like I'm really enjoying my time with it so far. If you like kind of like games like the exploration aspects of like Breath of the Wild and things like that, I've been able to like see something in the distance and go like, oh, what's that? I'm gonna go look at that. It's got a lot of those kind of aspects. And yeah, like the puzzle elements are really interesting and really cool, and like it's that kind of thing like you can only go a certain point in like 3 exploration before you have to start like unlocking new abilities, and then that kind of like links back into the story. And I think they've done a really good job of balancing like just giving you free access to do what you want with also giving the like kind of keeping you on the story as it were. And then there's like loads of little side quests you can do, like limited time quests for people as you go through the chapters. And yeah, they've done a really good job of building it out so that you like kind of like you want to like learn more about the people in the world and what happens. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. You mentioned like exploration and stuff like that, and it made me think. Did I ever talk about Still Wakes the Deep on there?
I think you mentioned it when you first started it, but did you go back and finish it?
Do I finish it? I don't know. I don't know if I should. I haven't. Not yet. Should I finish it?
Yes, you should.
Okay. All right. I've got about an hour and a half left, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
so
like I say, it's
not a long game.
It's pretty short. I really enjoy it, but again, without spoiling anything, because I don't know how far you are, it very much leads into my kind of like my media that I loved growing up and like the horror aspects and things like that. So yeah, like I personally think you should finish it.
I'll finish it then. Yeah, I'll finish it.
Yeah, with it being that short, I mean, you could probably finish it this afternoon or something. Or if you're doing it on
not this afternoon, I'm way too tired.
I mean, I'll keep you awake.
But yeah, true. All right, let's get into this week's dashboard. Everyone's finished with what they've been playing. Oh wait, we didn't talk about Halo. I guess we already spoke about Halo.
We played Halo. Right? It was it was a humbling experience.
Yeah.
We'll do it again in 4 years.
If they're lucky. This week's dashboard, the first story we got is all about Tango, and the quote we got here is obviously from how do you pronounce the studio now? Krafton. All right, cool. Well, this is from Krafton, who says, "We don't think Hi-Fi Rush 2 is going to make us money." This was taken from an interview that came out from Krafton, who were talking about the Hi-Fi franchise, saying that, quote, "We wanted to maintain their legacy," and this was from their game. Who was it? The developer that said this? I can't see where it says.
The CEO.
It was the CEO. Perfect.
Yeah.
Quote, "Although they did not have a big success in their games, we saw many creatives worth pursuing. That's why we wanted to work with the organization." So yeah, they literally just go on to say a few things about why they decided to pick up Tango Gameworks and stopping them from, going out of business ultimately. Do we not think Hi-Fi Rush 2 is going to make money?
Oh, I think Hi-Fi Rush 2 will 100% make money.
I think when they say make money, it's more so a case of like, it's not going to make dollars over fists. It's not going to be the most profitable thing ever.
No, yeah.
I think it'll make a profit.
I think that's sure, but when you're acquiring something, what's the profit like compared to like what you're getting, right?
I guess the conversation really is more like you're saying. It's more about, okay, we see the potential in what they can do. Hi-Fi Rush 2 is going to come out. I think everybody's going to support it. By the way, I think this is one of those games where like people are going to be like, okay, no, we have to buy this now. They've made it come back. They've ultimately confirmed Hi-Fi Rush 2 as well, by the way.
Basically,
which is good. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's one of those ones. I saw the headline there and was like, huh, that's an interesting thing to come out and say. But I guess you're right, Chris. It's a case of like, it's not that it's not going to make any money, but it's not going to make Call of Duty money, right? And I guess that's in today's standards of games, that's what people are always looking for: Fortnite, COD, et cetera.
It's also probably great for the dev team to hear that, because it doesn't put pressure on the need to deliver for a Hi-Fi Rush 2 and make it something that it's not. It's like it can exist and be its own thing. We acquired Tango also for other stuff they do and etc. It's not just about Hi-Fi Rush, but Hi-Fi Rush is more so to satisfy the creatives on that team, which I think is very dope.
Yeah. Like I've always said, like I view games as art, as also a business. So the fact that a CEO is coming out is like, we just want them to make good art. And it's like the profit isn't the focus. It's like, is nice to see for a change. Again, when you're talking Krafton, this is like, PUBG publishers. It's like, I'm sure they're not hurting for money right now. So
no, PUBG. PUBG still makes money, which is crazy.
Like PUBG still makes money, and back in the day, it made all the money. It's like it's nice to see a CEO be like, "Yo, we just want good creatives to make good art." And it's like, cool. I'm down for supporting that.
Yeah,
I might go buy the PUBG Battle Pass. Maybe not.
No. We've tried to go back to PUBG many a time now, and like people that play that game, they just see are so good that it's like so unwelcoming to like new players coming back. It's really hard.
Yeah, that game has changed so much. Like again, the basic tenet is you shoot and you survive, but like the game has changed like so much now. It's like coming back to that. It's like, so what what's this menu system for?
What weapons this? How'd you pick up a weapon? How'd you do this? Oh god.
What's the matter? And it's like,
what's the matter? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, but like again, just to go back to this, like it's super exciting to see Tango back together, as it were, and still making games. And yeah, it's awesome to see a CEO like talk like this. Like,
I'm surprised Xbox sold the IP as well.
Again, it's like if they didn't see that kind of like a business reason to keep it, it's like,
yeah, but you just don't see companies selling IPs too often nowadays.
I don't think Xbox values Hi-Fi Rush. I think that's ultimately like what it comes down to.
But not even like, I feel like, yeah, I guess so. I guess it's probably just, do you know what I think it is? I think it's like my daydream of like my one day wanting a Mario Party style Xbox game, right? Or a kart game or a fighting game where I'm like, just holding on to that IP would have been worth it for that alone to have a character like that. But clearly that's not in Xbox's world, so makes sense.
They got
Call of Duty now. They don't need bloody anything.
You're gonna get Call of Duty Party, Call of Party. You're gonna get Call of Duty characters. You have Ghost and all the other characters there.
Oh yeah,
no actual original Xbox IP. Yeah,
I cannot wait for COD Kart.
Podcart's gonna be fire.
That's gonna be fire. Yeah,
just like a little tiny ghost with a giant head. That's all they are. It's just like little giant bobble heads.
Big head mode. Every character's big head mode. 100%. Moving on, RGG did their summit of 2024. Sega announced a new entry in the Like a Dragon franchise, which we all knew was coming. It is called Like a Dragon Pirates Yakuza in Hawaii. The game will be an action-adventure affair in which players control the series' beloved recurring character. How do you pronounce his name properly? Because I'm going to say it wrong.
Goro Majima.
Thank you. And embark on an over-the-top journey to restore his lost memories, loot buried treasure, and slice up any crooks that get in their way. Did you guys see the trailer for this?
Yes.
Yep.
Are we all in?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
No?
Oh, interesting.
I didn't like the look of the gameplay.
Oh, I did.
I like a Dragon as a turn-based game. I don't know if I'd be interested. It's something that I would play, but I don't think I'd go out of my way if I had other stuff to play to dive into it.
Yeah, this is coming out February next year, by the way.
I want to know what's going on over at RGG. Like, how are they getting these games out so fast?
I agree with you. That was literally my thought process as well. How are they getting it out?
They reuse assets.
Yeah.
So like they make maps, they'll use the same map over and over. They talked about how
Hawaii map again. So
they've talked about how it was a recent quote, but they've talked about it before as well. But there was a recent quote where they were like, they take inspiration from movies where movies will reuse sets and stuff like that. They do very similar things. So it is how they reduce the production cost. And we talked about characters coming back and you getting cutscenes. Those cutscenes are from previous games. They're not like creating everything from the ground up again. So it's just like small stuff like that where I think you look at a lot of games like they're creating newer, bigger maps every time they release a new iteration of a game, where this is we'll add more to the map, but for the most part, the map's going to be the same thing or whatever. I think Infinite Wealth was probably the biggest. I don't want to say the biggest because I don't follow Yakuza like that, but it had the whole Hawaii section. And even then, the Hawaii section isn't really that big. It's big, don't get me wrong. But it's not like huge.
I think they do a really good job of like setting out a map. It's similar to like South Park did, right? Where like they've got their map and there's plenty to do in that world that kind of distracts you along your way, that you don't really think about the map as such. It's not like an open world game where you're like, all right, map opens, and you're like, okay, I get to travel. You can, and there's a reason to travel places, but Yakuza does such a great job of like, and there's darts, and there's this, and there's Shujimon, and there's so you're stop, start. So by the time you've got around the entire map, you don't feel like you've seen everything all of the time, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. They do a really good job. But I think you're right. I think this is a really smart spin on, okay, we're going to reuse Hawaii, but now we're doing a pirate game. So we're now just going to use all the water. And then when you come to land, it's a map that we've already made. You're 100% right. It's a very, very smart way of making games, and probably very cost effective as well. In a time and age of where we're complaining about games taking too long to be developed and how much they cost to develop, it seems like RGG have worked on their winning formula. I think the thing that helps with them the most as well is that they have likable characters, that you'll go into those games for those characters. You're not going to those games for anything other than that. Everything else is a bonus. I play Like a Dragon because I want to spend time with Ichi, right? Like that is why I play that game. Like, and then like you say, you go, this is not really a spoiler, right? Like you do go to Japan and you go to Hawaii. So you're like, it's that weird, like, oh, I'm familiar with this because I played the first game, but you don't feel slighted because of it, because it makes perfect sense that he would go back, that you would go back home or whatever is that however the story takes you. So yeah, no, I think you're right. It's a very, very smart way of doing it, but still the turnaround time is very. Look at the quality that we saw in the trailer. If it's the same standard of that, the turnaround time is still really, really good. Like, yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, no, I am 100% on this.
For us. They won for me anyway. They won.
Oh yeah, same. Like I was very much like not a huge Like a Dragon fan, like or Yakuza fan. Like I played a little bit of some of them, or like I played a little bit of Man Who Erases Name, but never finished it. And then obviously getting access to Infinite Wealth and playing that in full is like I am now like a massive convert for this series. Like I will be there day one for whatever they release. So
I like the fact they changed the gameplay as well. I know, like I do prefer the turn-based. Thank you, turn-based style. But I'm also okay with them changing it up for this game. Yeah, and like okay, something different, and then we'll go back to turn-based, and then we'll do something different, then we'll go back to turn-based. That works for me, and I think it keeps it fresh, like we were saying, right? Like it's the same but different, which is cool. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this one a lot. The trailer got me. I like the fact they keep doing this, like the memory stuff as well, because again, I'm not familiar with the characters, so I feel like it's such a great introduction of like, you may not know this character as well as other people do, but we're going to do this memory loss thing, so now you're going to get to learn who the character is. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. They clearly know they've had an influx of new players as well, and they're like, okay, how do we keep our fans that have been here since day one happy, but also tell this story that lets people fall in love with these characters that other people love already as well, which is really, really nice. So super looking forward to Pirate Yakuza. Gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
Next up, some sad news. This one comes from Phil Spencer and is about the 650 redundancies that were made to Xbox, well, Microsoft gaming staff, we should say. So yeah, this one's taken from Windows Central. The quote we got here is, well, let me see if I can find it. Sorry. I know that this is difficult news to hear, and then there's a bunch of other stuff that Phil Spencer goes into saying. Do we know? I don't know. Again, I've been out of the loop a little bit. Who was affected by this mainly? Was it Bethesda?
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard. Yeah. It's basically, it feels like this is another one of those kind of like just like amalgamating job roles between what Xbox already have, Bethesda already have, and then Activision Blizzard already have. It's just like, yeah, so obviously there's overlaps and stuff like that, which is not nice to see, but it makes sense. They did say specifically as part of this that there's nothing has been cancelled, no studios are closing. It is, I think, very much targeting, it says here, HR, finance, and marketing, which again makes sense. You've got a Microsoft HR team. You don't need a Bethesda, all those other ones. You'll have people within them to report up, but you won't need a full team anymore. And again, same with finance and marketing. I guess finance is going to go directly into Xbox and things like that, but like there will be like people in those roles that will still be around, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of overlap. And then marketing. Who knew they had marketing?
I was going to say, if you're Activision, then you get, and some of your marketing team gets fired in this situation, are you happy about that?
I don't think anyone's happy about any of these firings, but
but I get that. I get even like if you're a developer and you're putting out a game, and it's like Microsoft marketing isn't like that amazing, other than game. They know how to market Game Pass.
No, it isn't even game. They can't even market Game Pass anymore. Like we'll get into that, I'm pretty sure, but like
not wrong.
Like they messed that up as well. Like no, I agree with you. I think if I'm sitting there making, maybe not this COD, but the next COD, right? You're like, well, we're used to doing things this way, and we've seen how they've marketed Halo and everything else. Yeah, no, I think you make a I think you're worried at least, but maybe now that they have, again, they're going to keep the best of the best there, right? That's going to be the plan. They'll keep the ones that are good. Like, no, let me rephrase that because that sounds way worse than I was meant to say it. They're going to keep the people that they feel are the perfect people for the job. Other people are going to get let go of. And hopefully as a whole, this improves Xbox, because there are going to be people who are probably at Activision currently who are probably going to be moved into this new marketing team. And maybe that will help, Call of Duty is always marketed really well. Always. So, and plus it's Call of Duty. It shouldn't be that hard to market, let's be honest. But hopefully that helps in the long run. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a case of like, you don't need a bunch of financial people to just, there's obviously going to be low periods, right? Where like something doesn't get released. So the financial team are not working as hard. Now that they've got more IPs to go across, they're probably just able to give more steady workflow out there. You would have thought. Again, I'm just an idiot on the internet. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I don't think finance teams are really kind of beholden to game releases. Finance teams also deal with staff wages and things like that.
No, yeah, but I'm sure better than marketing budgets and things like that as well. So,
those are parts of the parcel of the job, yeah.
Yeah. I only know what I know from the little I've experienced on the inside of where I've worked, right? So, yeah, one of those ones. Next up, and our last news story, it is all about Halo. Quote, we're building plans for the 25th anniversary of Halo and Xbox. Microsoft confirms in a new interview, we have a rich heritage. You have to celebrate that. End quote. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do Xbox have a rich heritage?
With Halo.
I didn't know. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
It's not what I said. I said Xbox. Does Xbox have a rich heritage?
Yeah, but
I agree with you.
Halo.
It's about Xbox and Halo.
Okay. Yeah. Does Xbox have a rich heritage?
That's my question.
They bought heritage, yeah.
Yeah, they bought a lot of heritage.
It's a bit like Man City as a football team, man. That's what they do. That's what happens.
I would say, like, depending on how you look at it, I'd say yes, they do. In some, like, Halo specifically is like one of the things that spearheaded FPSs on console. Xbox Live as a entity as well, like, popularized online gaming. And yeah, like Xbox have been there for all of the major points in gaming. So yeah, I think they've got a heritage that they weren't
there at the start, so maybe not all the major points, but sure.
Yeah. All right. Console gaming.
Pretty sure.
Gaming.
You're still wrong.
No, you're right. Super Nintendo. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Get out of here. You're missing a whole gen.
What about arcade cabinets? We're gonna throw that away and say that doesn't count.
Console. That's not console.
Yeah, I'll take it back. Yeah. All right. But no, they've been there since their I would say
for the
introduction.
Modern day.
Yeah. For the modern day.
For the modern era. Yeah. I think they have been. I think if you sat down and really had a real honest conversation about Xbox, they have had a modern day. The footprint they have left on a modern day games industry is ridiculous. Like you just said, right? Xbox Live, Game Pass, going toe to toe with Sony in a console war. When Nintendo have just said, taken a step to the left and gone, we're doing this. Yeah, I just don't know if rich history is the right. Money, obviously, they're a rich company. Yeah. But it's a weird one for me because, like, they have a history. I don't know if they have a rich history. Like, I still buy a PlayStation thing. This is my point, right? PlayStation just announced their 30th anniversary stuff.
Yeah.
If Xbox did the same thing, and it was all original Xbox based, no one would give a crap. I don't care. There would be a little conversation, but not the same way there is for Sony.
I mean, we had it recently with the Duke controller, didn't we? Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is cool," but no one was like, "Oh my god, I need to buy all of them and stick them in my loft for 10 years so they're worth more." Yeah, like the Xbox 360 Lego thing. It was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm not going to buy it, but it's cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. Halo 100%. That's not even up for debate. Defined shooters for the longest time, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just think it's an interesting conversation to be had. But I'm interested to see what they do. Are we going to get a big event? Are we going to get some special edition consoles? What's the play?
Do we finally get a fourth wrap for our Series X rather than the 2 camo ones and a Starfield one?
I don't even understand the wraps. I don't even know why they exist.
I missed the Xbox One generation when they did the custom consoles with the engravings and stuff. fantastic. What they're doing now, I don't know.
Bring back the Xbox 360 faceplates. That's what I say. Interchangeable faceplates. That's where it was at, Crash. No? No? You hated those. Why am I not surprised, Chris? You hate everything that I like, so
that's true.
Why am I not surprised? Let's jump into Guess That Game, boys. If you don't know, Guess That Game is the game show within the podcast that we do, where the boys have to ask me I ask the boys yes or no questions. Have I got that the wrong way?
No, we ask you.
You ask me yes or no questions. I answer them honestly, and we all have a fun time. The points are sitting like this: Crash on 10, Matt on 4, Despawn on 7, and myself on 6.
Despawn's catching up to me.
No, I'm not.
It's 3 points away. 3 points away. Till the end of the year, you can catch up 100%.
All right, I'm bringing up my notes up so I can make notes this time.
You're not gonna make notes. Stop lying.
It's right there. Notes up.
Okay, if you say so. All right, let me bring up the game real quickly because I did kind of forget that I was doing this. All right, I've got a game. Okay. Let me get a clock for you guys, and we will get in. You got a minute and 30 seconds. You first, Crash.
Okay.
It's always you. I'm always last.
All right, here we go. In 3, in 2, in 1, go.
360 generation.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Nope.
Platformer.
No.
Big 5 publishers.
Yeah.
EA.
Yes.
First person shooter.
Nope.
Third person shooter.
No.
Is it a single player only game?
Yes.
RPG.
Nope. No.
Okay. Trying to think of EA games now. Is it a sports game?
No.
Okay.
Is it a narrative driven game?
No.
Not a narrative driven game. Okay. Is it 2D?
Chris knows.
Chris
no.
knows.
I'm good.
No.
How are you doing? Fix that's my question.
I'm fine, thank you. Despawn.
Yeah.
Not narrative. Okay. God damn it. This is going to annoy me. I do not know. All I can think of is FPSs and things for EA. Is it a... Oh, God. Is it 3D?
Yes.
Okay.
Does Matt like it?
I don't know if Matt likes it.
Okay.
You're out of time, unfortunately. I'll give you one. I'll give you a last question if you've got one in your head. Go on.
I have a game in my head.
Perfect.
But I don't know if it is the right game. I don't ask another question just in case. Crash already knows. Let me write the game down just in case, you know.
Sure.
If I got this wrong and I was this cocky, by the way.
I was going to say, yeah. So just to clarify, it was a 360 title, not exclusive, not a platformer. It was EA, not an FPS or a sports game.
Nope.
No like narrative, as it were. Nope. Like I'm assuming when you're saying narrative, you're thinking like Last of Us, God of War, kind of like narrative games. Okay.
I'm very certain there's no narrative.
Okay. And yeah, then I was like, I don't know. Okay. So I've got a game written down. Let me just get rid of all that, just so I've got the game in front of me.
Talk to me. Just say it. That's all I need to hear.
Sims.
Correct. Well done, boys. Well done. Finally.
Yeah, my brain was like...
Despawn? You know how that feels? I feel good.
It felt good. Like... It feels good when it's like when your brain was like, it's not a narrative and it's not a first person shooter. It's like EA, it's like, it's not a sports game. The first game that came in my head was like, is it Skate? And I was like, wait, no, because you said it's not sports. It's like, when you've got a game in your head and then someone goes, no, it's not that. It's like, what else did they do? I was like, Sims? Sims fits.
Yeah. Once it was like, it's not FPS, I'm like, it's not third person, it's not first person, it's Sims.
Yeah.
I was like, fix this for sure, Sims.
Again, you got. I think thinking about the person is definitely the way to go as well. But does Matt like the game? I don't know if Matt likes The Sims.
It was a throwaway question.
I was gonna say That was like, I know
he likes The Sims.
I was like, I know the answer. How can I run the clock down?
Yeah.
I've got a blind ranking for you as well from Big Willie P, so we'll do that before we get out of here as well. Big Willie P sends in one. You guys know how it is. You have to blind rank these games to make the best list that you think is possible, and I will give you a bonus point if you can guess the category. You're definitely not going to get the category, but I'll give you this anyway. So,
okay.
First game, Lost Planet 3.
Lost Planet 3 is like a 5.
Yeah.
Or 4 if you want to be like a little safe with it, but I don't think it goes in that top.
It's not in the top 3, no. Well, depending on again, it depends on the category. But I'm going to go, I feel confident putting it at 4, and I'd be okay with a 5.
Okay.
But I'd say,
leave it at a 4.
Yeah, 4? Out the gate, I don't want to just like, it's 5. Like, we don't know what's coming next.
Okay. All right. Next up, Dino Crisis 3.
Oh.
I know nothing about Dino Crisis 3. I make fun of this franchise. That's all I know.
I'm the same. I'm not like, 1 and 2 where I'm all about it, but 3.
3? I'd say 3. 5, 3 or 5. 3 or 5.
Let's just chuck it at 5.
I'll tell you this. Okay. Dino Crisis 3 is probably the weakest Dino Crisis game. 1 and 2 were way better.
Okay. So then 5.
5, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Umbrella Corps. Do you know what this game is?
Nope.
This is the spin-off Resident Evil game. Yes, the online versus co-op game that even I have never played.
Okay. Well, let's just keep that at 3 then, maybe.
Yep. This is. Okay. Yeah.
I think I've got an idea of what the thing what it is, but like what the subject is for the list. But we'll see with these next 2.
Next up, Clock Tower 3. I've never even heard of this game.
Nope.
Clock Tower.
I believe it's like I looked it up. It's like a survival horror game, PS2 game, if I'm not mistaken. But before seeing this, I had never even heard of it.
I've never even heard of the Clock Tower series. Oh, do you recognize the logo though? Okay. Yeah, 2. Yeah, why not?
Yep, 2.
Okay. And last but not least, and I can't believe it's worked out like this for Crash, but Resident Evil 6. Number 1.
Let's go.
Hey, number one, baby. And I think I have an idea of what the rating, what the subject might be.
So let me just go through it real quick. So we got Resident Evil 1. We'll go from bottom. Dino Crisis 3 at 5, Lost Planet at 3 at 4, Umbrella Corps at 3, Clock Tower at 2, and Resident Evil 6 at 1. Yeah, I mean, I would have moved personally. Umbrella Corps would be last. Lost Planet probably would be second for me. And then everything else you pretty much smashed, if I'm honest. Even I would put Resident Evil 6 top of this list.
Yeah.
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
Any guesses on what Big Willie P has put as the category? I don't pick the category. He puts me a title of the category. So what do you think he put?
Worst. So I'm thinking it's like, looking at them specifically now, I'm thinking like the worst rated survival horror games in their franchise.
Okay.
The problem is Umbrella Corps and Resident Evil 6, same franchise.
Yeah.
So if that is the category, Big Willie P fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to confirm it is not.
Okay.
So Deesman, you're out.
That's fine.
Worst rated Capcom games.
Do you know what, Crash? You know what? It doesn't say that in front of me. It says the quote Capcom don't miss list.
Oh.
But I don't think you would ever get that word in.
No.
And I think exactly what you're saying is exactly what he's going for in terms of like people say Capcom don't miss, but these games exist. So I will give you an extra point. I will give you the extra point.
Let's go.
I think that you've done a pretty good job there. All published by Capcom. This is the Capcom Don't Miss list from Big Willie P, even though they are the worst rated Capcom games. So, yeah, there you have it. Big Willie P, please send in more. We have no more blind rank. I think we've got one more, actually, which I'm going to save for next month because it's Halloween. But please send in more. And anybody else, you're more than welcome to send in your blind rankings with a title for it for the boys to guess so they can get an extra point on our scoreboard. All right, boys, let's do a fix this sack and then we can get the hell out of here. First one comes from, you can email my Xbox and me at gmail.com or hit us up in the Discord, Twitter. We got some emails here this week as well, so thank you very much for those. I appreciate it. First one comes from Top Lift via Discord. It says, what's one prediction for the Tokyo Game Show, Xbox Game Show? Given the success of Astrobot, do you think Banjo-Kazooie Revive could work? So kind of two questions there, but we'll go with the top one first. One prediction for the Xbox Tokyo Game Show. For those who don't know, this is happening next week, next Wednesday, at the time of recording. We don't know if we'll be doing a reaction stream for it yet. We know Matt can't do it. We know Digspawn can't do it. I am not sure, and Crash is not sure as well. So if we don't do it live, I might even just drag Crash into a Discord call and we watch it together and record it and then put it up. But we'll see. I'm not fully committed yet on what's going on. So yeah, looking forward to it though. I do feel like the Xbox Tokyo Game Shows are always very specific for that audience, but they are usually a good time. There's usually something that's announced. Again, I've been hearing rumblings a while about some stuff that's going to be at this showcase. So I'm not going to say that thing specifically. But yeah, I don't know. I think... I don't know. It's a hard one, right? Because again, that audience is so different to like the Western world. I think the easier ones you could go with were Final Fantasies, or we've got every Persona game now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Everything from 3 onwards, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not. I don't think it'll be Persona related. We'll see more of the new Atlas game, I suspect. I would imagine we're not going to get to see Resident Evil, like the new Resident Evil wouldn't be here. I'd be shocked if Xbox have got into bed with them for that, when that's such a PlayStation focused IP, it seems like, when it comes to third party licensing. You got any idea, Crash, of something you would think of?
This is more wishful thinking than anything. A bit. Blue Dragon, either remake or reboot. Yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not
I don't think it's happening either. But if it was gonna happen,
this is where it would happen.
This is 100%. This is the only place they'd show it. I don't think they'd do it at like a big E3. I'm sure they would show it at an E3 as long as it was announced previously. But I think for an announcement, this is where they would do it. I think it's hard to like judge what Xbox will do as far as the Tokyo Game Show goes, because they could go the route of bring stuff to Xbox that hasn't been on the platform before, or they could go the route of like putting out games that they would like in that market. So it is just a little bit of a tough thing.
There was a video where Phil Spencer kind of not hyping it up, but like very much encouraging people to watch the show this year. From what they said is they're going to share Xbox Game Studio, Activision, Blizzard Entertainment, and Bethesda content. So and then obviously a bunch of third-party parties, primarily based in Japan and across Asia, including games coming to Game Pass. So I think there could be a potential for a very big Final Fantasy title possibly coming to Game Pass.
I could see it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But obviously we know full well that they've come out and said that Final Fantasy 16 and 7 have failed to meet profitability. I think it's a very easy shake hands with Square. Like, hey, want to bring over a Final Fantasy game? We'll give you this much money for Game Pass, and then that brings in a bunch of new people. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could see it.
So I was definitely feeling like maybe we'll see that Final Fantasy title, but like Game Pass specifically as well.
I mean, I just feel like they need guaranteed money, is what I would think.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
from Square perspective, to get into the profitability mark, right? Because both of those games have reviewed well. Both those games have had huge fanfare online, yet they still haven't made enough money. Again, we don't know how much Xbox pay out for these games, so.
To be fair, the wording on the quote for I don't think it was profitability. I think it was just it didn't meet expectations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
So
You're right.
I'm sure that it was profitable, but it didn't. But
You're
still,
right.
I would agree. I think Game Pass actually isn't. If something does get announced, I don't think Game Pass is too bad of a call, because it's like, hey, the market share, people might not be interested in the Final Fantasy game right now, but you put it into Game Pass, you get them interested in Square Enix, Final Fantasy, and stuff like that. I think it's a great strategy. You get guaranteed money.
The issue is we don't know what it will be. It's either going to be 16 or 7, right? Realistically, 16 has just come to PC. Kind of makes more sense for it to be there. I've been hearing rumblings about 16 eventually landing everywhere for a long time now. So yeah, I don't know. I think I can just see 16 comes out and on Game Pass day one on Xbox.
That would be be a huge gap.
I can see it. I feel like because the people who are going to buy 16 on PC, I've just got a code for that as well, by the way. I can see them already. They've already bought it now. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's where my head goes to. Like some sort of Game Pass Square Enix announcement.
I could see that collaboration definitely working. Like they've said in the past that they want to bring more stuff to, like, they want to work more closely together, and I think that totally makes sense. And yeah, hearing those rumblings, definitely. Go on. Cool.
If they do, does that go into the day one category, or does that go into Game Pass standard?
That'll be like your top tier one, yeah.
It'll be in the ultimate. That's what I mean. Like, bro, I don't even generally, since they've made the changes, I don't even like talking about Game Pass anymore. Like, if I'm being, I think the messaging is so horrible, and the way they've done things now is so horrible that I don't even like talking about Game Pass anymore. Yeah. Like, because it's now like having to articulate, ultimate, standard, this. Like, I saw you put it, we didn't end up getting to cover it, right? But you put a news story about it, and it's like, it's just a mess.
Yeah, taking it. Then there's games that weren't even day one that they had put in later on, like Diablo, that got removed and put into the ultimate tier, even though it was never. It's just a complete shit show of sorts.
It's an absolute mess. I guess. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think next gen they end up just doing the 1 tier again, or what? Or do you think this is the new standard? This is it.
Yeah.
And this is it.
Jesus Christ, what a mess.
Yeah.
Top of this, the Astro Bot question is an interesting one. Like, I haven't had a chance to play that either. I've got that as well to play. I just don't think Banjo's not Astro. Banjo's not Crash. Banjo's not Spyro. Like, Banjo's just never been that guy, bruv. You lot pretend he's that guy, but he's never been that guy.
Well, it's also kind of weird if you take a Banjo game and instead of making a Banjo game, you're like, I'm going to make a game that celebrates the history of Xbox. It becomes a weird perversion of the character in a sense, right?
But they couldn't do it. I just don't, again, the same, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, they got the exact same developer. They got the different mascot from the Astro Bot, right? So they went and got Asbo and everything. There isn't that same, bro. You know, a multi-tab for PlayStation has nostalgia to me. It doesn't exist on Xbox. A network adapter on PS2 is nostalgia to me. You know, like all the different versions of a PlayStation is nostalgia to me. PS1 to PS2, all of it. Xbox just doesn't have that. You disagree?
No.
I think there's some younger people that would argue they do. Because there's some younger people that would argue the stuff you're saying is nostalgia for PlayStation isn't nostalgia for them.
Yeah.
Maybe. But again, maybe that's because I grew up on. Yeah. Again, I do a weekly Xbox podcast, but I grew up a PlayStation kid. Like that was what I was doing. PS1, PS2 were my entire life. For let's go for the history. Remember, never put disrespect on Sega. Mega Drive, obviously. Then 64. Then PS1, PS2, just so I'm putting that. Don't forget the GameCube in there. But anyway, I'm getting.
I would say there are specific points in Xbox's history that I have nostalgia. Like the 360 specifically, I have nostalgia for that as a console, and like playing the first Halos and stuff like that. But like, there's not the level to it that Sony has. I don't think. I think they've done such a good job on that side of building like characters that you can connect to. Whereas I don't feel like Xbox have done that to their detriment.
I think Sony also treats their history with reverence, where you don't always get that with Xbox. That's a more recent thing with Xbox, where you see them like sort of treating their back catalog of not just games, but accessories and like the Blade dashboard on 360 and stuff like that. They're just starting to treat that with reverence, where Sony's been doing this for a very long time. Sometimes they do it within a generation, treating certain stuff they create outside of the console itself in reference in some of their games and stuff like that. And then also like I think if Xbox were to do it, you don't do Banjo-Kazooie, you do what Sony did. You create a brand new mascot for that experience. It's like if you could give Sony Crash Bandicoot, let's say Microsoft's like, cool, you guys can use the character to create your own platformer to do this whole experience. It doesn't hit the same and it doesn't work the same.
I agree. Well, you need, I think Astro, like to give credit to PlayStation, Astro Bot is like the perfect, you don't really care about him, do you? Like, he's cool, he's there, but he's white, like very clean colors, he's cool, he can be changed into anything. Like you see the different versions of him with different hairstyles and things like that. It just works. Like they've landed on a gold mine with that, honestly. I think they do. Look, I'm looking at my portal. He is front and goddamn center.
I'll be honest, Astrobot's just Sackboy in a different skin.
Yeah.
And like, he works the same reason Sackboy worked, because you could like put anything on Sackboy and Sackboy functions just fine.
I'm gonna be honest, you unzip Sackboy, there's an Astrobot inside.
Facts.
Probably.
That would be so cool. Again, I haven't played Astrobot yet, so who knows? Maybe I'll do that. Let's get into one more question from top left as well. He says, I suppose in relation to Anubis's question, which I'm not sure what that was, but do you feel that with the release of the PS5 Pro and no mid-gen upgrade of the Series X/S, Xbox could launch their next-gen console or consoles early and get out before the PS6, like they did with the 360, to try and get ahead? Yes, I do. Oh, please go, Chris. You go first, please.
The 360 gen, they launched a whole year in advance. They launched significantly, cheaper. I don't know. Did the PS3 have a price point at the point where the 360 came out?
Yeah.
Okay,
They came out. They were $100.
There was $600.
No, but I'm saying Xbox came out and they were $100 cheaper, and they released a year earlier. They were announced at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Or very close.
Like they might have been announced a little bit later also, where they got announced closer to their own release. But yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff that like favored Xbox in doing the 360 launch that way. I don't think Xbox would also have to be viewing itself in a traditional generation format to do something like that, where I don't think Xbox sees themselves in that format. So I don't think it would make sense with what Xbox is doing to do that, just to get the one up on possibly getting some market share in the generation.
I want to answer the question specifically. Yes, I can see Xbox doing that. I don't think it's going to make a little bit of difference because generations are no longer the same. You're not going to get someone to leave their PlayStation 5 for an Xbox 720 just because it's more powerful. If they cared about that, they'd be on PC already.
Yep.
Like, it's just not going to happen. You know, the amount of people, again, we've seen it online, the amount of people who are buying disc trays and stands for their PS5 Pro in preparation. And it's the case of like, they don't care. They don't care about any other console. They care about PlayStation. Yeah. So coming out 2 years earlier with more power wouldn't make a single bit of difference. And the reason for that is, number one, Xbox have no exclusive games anymore. Like, and I'm bringing PC into that as well, right? Like, no, they don't have any exclusive games anymore, so there's no reason to go out 2 years early, a year earlier, and get that console, or because you can play it somewhere. You can play it in some way, shape, or form, whether it is on a PC or whether it's cloud or whatever. You can get that experience somewhere. And number two, we're just in a different world. Like when the 360 generation happened, PCs, no one was playing on what I would have called back in the day nerds were playing on PC.
Yeah, LAN parties and that stuff. Yeah,
they were the nerdy ass nerds. Bro, I told you, I was talking to Despawn today. I went to my sister's birthday party last night. My uncle was like, oh, my uncle's 50 plus. He's been a PlayStation fan all his life. He's like, oh, I'm thinking about moving to PC. I'm like, what? Like, we've gotten there. That's where we've gotten to with gaming. We're like 50-year-olds who have no interest in PC gaming and now seeing PC gaming being the norm and going, oh yeah, I might get into PC gaming. Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy to me. But yeah. I don't think it would not help them to try and get ahead. It wouldn't help them get ahead at all.
No.
They would probably sell the exact same amount of units personally.
And I think the problem as well for the main part of that is the jump isn't going to be that big in my eyes. Like we have hit that, I think we're starting to hit that tipping point where like nowadays it's like the graphics and the quality of games like you're not going to get much better than now. Like you can standardize 4K 60 maybe. That's the best bet you're going to get. But at that point, the amount of money it's going to cost to do that is going to be a lot. And so like nowadays it's the experiences that you get. It's those unique experiences like open worlds using cloud and things like that. And it's like technically Xbox are in the position where they could do that, but like no one else is wanting to do that. Like they've got the architecture in the xCloud, which they've said they want to. One of the promises of this generation was that they would be bringing that architecture to gaming, and it's like 5 years down the line, we've not seen it. So it's like the only thing you're going to be able to sell people on is graphic updates, and it's like we're getting to that point now. Like 4K 60 is probably the best you're going to get for the major markets, because like who's going to have a TV that does more than 60 frames in 4K? It's like
eventually, but not
eventually, but yeah, right now when you're talking like, oh, how did they beat the PS5 Pro kind of like to market and kind of stuff like that, and like the next gen, like right now there's nothing they can really do that beats that.
They could. Do you know what they could do? Release successful games.
Yeah, they could do that.
I also think when you're looking at the PS5 Pro, I think you also have to look at one of the reasons Sony invested in making it, and that is for the PSSR or whatever the AI upscaling chip is. That is future proof. That might not be, the PS5 Pro might not sell, but when they do a PS6 or whatever, you're going to guarantee that that's going to be in the system. They might have a weaker system than whatever their competitors are, but that might boost it up to like equivalent or a better looking game or whatever the case is. So there is a bit of future proof there. I don't know, is Microsoft going to invest into their own AI chip like that, or are they going to, they've gone into cloud. I think
they
would probably license it. Yeah.
You would imagine. I'm spitting out. Technical stuff's not my forte, but we don't really see Xbox usually make their own stuff anymore, right? Like they usually partner with somebody.
Yeah, they'll partner with an AMD
or AMD or someone like that. You would imagine, right?
Like they have done their own work within like specifically the AI field. They've done their own work, and I'm sure they'll like leverage that.
We'll see that. Yeah, if you don't think the next console is going to have built-in. We're already seeing it, right, with Sony and the way they're doing things. Xbox are going to be all over that. AI, talk to your controller and fucking now you've got a guide that comes up, blah, 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 blah. So,
like 100%. I'm surprised it's not already in this generation, but like next gen 100% is going to have Copilot built in.
Yeah.
Which is Xbox's, Microsoft's AI.
Microsoft's, yeah. No, I agree. But, I hope we answered your question, Toplift. We got one more that comes from Sam via email. We appreciate you, Sam. Thank you for emailing in. With consoles moving to digital-only formats, do you think this next generation of consoles will be the last? No. I think for as long as you can sell millions of consoles, whether or not that it is the profit margins they're happy with, like as long as you can keep selling millions of consoles, these companies will keep doing that. I don't think it will always be the primary way that people play games. I think you will always see consoles.
I would argue it's already not the primary. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw a thing where like 75% of games sold last month with digital.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like,
I'm not saying physical media. I'm talking about just a console existing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, a digital-only console already exists with the Series S.
No, but the question isn't the question.
More consoles.
No consoles at all.
Right. Oh, do I think the next generation in total? No.
Will be the last.
Yeah,
like, after PS6 and the Xbox 720 360 no scope comes out, will that be the last console? No, because I still think there's enough in it where after this generation, I think you'll see it get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, but I think you're still going to see consoles exist because people still want consoles. I still want consoles. I have everything, and I still want consoles.
Right? Yeah. So I've misread the question. I think
have I misread?
No.
You read it right.
Okay.
It's you were right. I think it's me. I was thinking like, are we going to see? And is this going to be the last generation consoles with a disk drive kind of thing? Like, no. Like,
I mean, I can see that being the thing, but I think we'll always see what PlayStation have done it perfectly with the Pro, right? They forced their market to go, okay, you care about disk drives? We don't care about disk drives. Buy it separately. Just like Apple did to us with chargers and headphones. Yeah. It's the perfect business model for them. It's like, hey, we want to cut down they market as our carbon footprint. We want to reduce it and all this other crap. But it's like, no, you care about this? No problem. There's £100 disk drive over there. Yeah. Go pay for it. Simple.
I see that being the way forward. Yeah, like to answer the question out, I've read it properly. No, I don't think this is next generation is gonna be the last one. I think there'll definitely be some blurring of the lines going forwards, but I think there'll always be. There's always, until the technology and like smart TVs and things like that becomes standard, like everyone's next TV is going to have a built-in console that can run 4K 60 games. I think there's always going to be a market for a separate desktop device or under the TV device to play games for that market. And like I say, people, the hardcore gamers build like for better or worse, sometimes build their persona around having the next console on day one. It's like, Absolutely. As long as that market is there, I think there will still be people willing to buy the next generation of consoles and the next one, whatever that iteration may be. I think the blurring of the lines will still be there, but I think, there'll always be a device of some kind until we get to a future where it's just synonymous that cloud gaming does become the norm, but it's not happening anytime soon.
Agreed. Yeah. 100% agreed. Boys, let's plug, and get the hell out of here. Crash, what you got to plug this week, dude?
My Xbox Me on podcast services. Leave a podcast review. Fix mentioned it earlier. We have no reviews in America. We have no reviews over the seas. I don't know if we have reviews in other countries.
Japan be popping, bro. I know it. I can feel it.
Probably.
Feel it my bones.
Leave some reviews. Go check out the YouTube channel. We got some stuff coming there eventually. Some other bits and bobs planned. Maybe more streams planned in the future. Who knows? Follow us everywhere.
Despawn?
I'm going to be selfish for a change. I'm going to plug my own stuff. I know. Technically, I'm not going to plug my own stuff. I'm going to plug my work stuff. Go show some love to the socials for PC Gamer and Games Radar. It makes me look good. When their stuff starts popping off. Yeah, because for those that don't know, I'm an editor for them over there. Go show some love to their stuff and make me look good at work.
So what you need to do is everyone to oh my god, at Despawn, this edit was so fire. Oh my god, Despawn, and this, oh my god, you're so good at what you do. See, come on, I know the game. Trust me, I got you. I got you. Anytime I see anything, even if you didn't edit, I'm just gonna at Despawn, be like, oh, this must have been a Despawn edit. This is amazing.
Yeah. Do it.
I got you, bro. I got you. I think mine's Halo with the boys. I haven't seen any comments on the video. Doing okay views for our channel, but go and check out the Halo with the boys live stream VOD. If you want to see us just being absolute idiots. I tell about 100 people to suck their mum and a bunch of other different things. I get very upset and happy during that stream. So go and check it out. All in fun, all in jest. Everyone knows that. But go and check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, like Chris said, go subscribe to the YouTube channel though. That's the big thing. We've got Rank and Every coming. My D&D has been recorded. We just got to sort out the edit on that. And a bunch more to come real soon. So keep it locked over there. Until next time, we will love ya, leave ya, and see you all later. Secret word of the podcast.
It's back.
What?
The secret word is back.
Oh, yeah. What should we say? Quick. Think. Everyone think.
No, the secret word is... back.
Oh, back.
Back.
Oh.
There you go.
Back.